On the surface, Rime is a gorgeous, melancholy adventure of a lone wanderer in a similar fashion as memorable games like Eco, Journey, or The Witness. But just under that layer of beautiful art, mysterious locations, and wonderful music is a game with very few new ideas. Instead, almost all of its puzzles are shallow and ultimately uninteresting versions of things we've seen and done before in other, better games. Rime's basic premise is simple and familiar. You wake up on a magical island after a shipwreck, and you have to solve a variety of environmental puzzles over the course of the 6-hour adventure to piece together just what the heck happened. As you jump and climb across this beautiful and varied world, you'll complete rudimentary tasks like collecting keys, moving crates, and carrying around battery-like orbs. Those puzzles generally feel more like household chores than challenges you actually have to think about. The only exception are a handful of hurdles that involve interesting uses of light, shadow, and perspective. Each area of the island is beautiful in its own right, and the absence of a HUD meant that every frame of my adventure was enjoyable to look at. That said, the lack of cohesion between the 4 areas makes the whole thing feel like a series of separate levels, as opposed to a single place with a real sense of identity. So while Rime clearly wants to place you in the ruins of an ancient civilization, nothing here feels like it was ever inhabited at all. And while you can wander a bit off the beaten path in search of various collectibles, these never reward you with anything more than a JPEG on a menu screen. And while I enjoyed exploring the world in an aesthetic sense, I wasn't so keen on the frame rate dips, fidgety camera, and banal climbing I encountered along the way. I have to admit that the mysterious allure of Rime's story definitely had me hooked, and I was compelled to see what was at the end of the winding road. While the payoff wasn't quite as satisfying as the endings of some of Rime's clear inspirations, I appreciated the open-ended nature of the world and its inhabitants for allowing me to come up with some of my own answers. But at the end of the day, neither these questions nor the answers were enough to make Rime a memorable experience after the credits rolled. For more on mysterious adventures, check out our reviews of The Witness, What Remains of Edith Finch, and Abzu.